All right, here we go. Just finished a pretty good President's Cup in terms of entertainment. This week, the entertainment isn't quite as good considering the field is awful. Tournament is pretty awful. We also have the Alfred Dunhill Links at St. Andrews. So we got a couple things to talk about, but let's start with the President's Cup. What do you think?
Yeah, the internationals made it competitive for about 30 seconds, and then I don't know, really was never competitive. Saturday was pretty cool though, when they Saturday afternoon when Tom Kim went crazy. That guy's a fucking character. I didn't really watch much Sunday. I was more focused on football, but I mean, it was expected. The result was obviously expected. I took him at minus 400. So laid some juice there. Was happy the US won, I guess. But yeah, for most of the time I was rooting for the internationals despite the bet I had.
Yeah, I was rooting for him pretty much all the time. I know it might not be a popular opinion, but that U.S. team, they're not likable to me. Everyone talks about how likable they are and how this great young awesome team. Like to me, they're very very unlikable.
It's because all of our favorite golfers went to the Live Tour.
Yeah, and a lot of them are internationals. But I mean, in general, you know what I think it is, and a lot of it is these guys take the personality of who their leader is. Right, when they were Tiger was leader of this team. It had a different vibe. Now it's like when Spieth and JT are your leaders, it's like a frat boy atmosphere that I don't like.
Yeah, I hear you. I'm obviously not a Spieth guy at all. I do like JT. I know he can be. I know you don't like some of the stuff he's done in these team events, but like, I think you need that in those team events, especially. I mean, you don't need that against the internationals, obviously, especially that team. But like when he goes over to Rome, they're gonna need that. Don't you think?
Mhm. Yeah, I do, and I don't hate it all the time, and I do like him still. Like he pissed me off multiple times, but I still like him, and I love him because we hit bets on him all the time. But I thought he was obnoxious this week, mostly because, okay, first of all, set the scene here on Friday. The internationals are getting fucking pounded, just absolutely pounded. And this guy makes a putt to make them winning like 9-2 or something, and just starts beating on his chest, pumping up the crowd, like just piling it on. These guys you don't need to do that in that situation. And then like he still thinks he's at Whistling Straits. And
Like, dude, you just beat a couple cute little Asians, KH Lee and Siwoo Kim.
Yeah, just beat the piss out of KH Lee, like the 150th ranked player in the world. Like, cool, man, I guess. Like, chill the fuck out. And then
and Pendrith and Connors, who went like 0 for 10 on the week.
Yeah, just beating the shit out of these guys, just celebrating, screaming in their face, pounding your chest, everyone chanting USA in the background. It's like a sad, sad scene. And the optics of it were pretty bad. So I was like, this doesn't look good for the event going forward. Just, it's like, let's each take turns every 2 years, just beating the piss out of the internationals, a bunch of Asians and fucking Australians and shit. I mean, Jesus Christ. But luckily, I do think they salvaged the event on Saturday. Like they didn't, it wasn't as close as people wanted to make it believe it was, but they salvaged enough to where in 2 years, we don't have to say, let's completely scrap this fucking shitty event. I don't think.
Oh man, there was a time when I thought they might have closed it, being close to closing it out Saturday afternoon.
Right. And then the thing about JT, and I have a big problem with the Siwoo Kim thing on Sunday. Like, first of all, he gets mad that he's not giving him a short putt. They're down 4 going into the day. Like, if you don't get a putt, just go make the putt and move on. You don't have to give these looks like you're a fucking tough guy. You're not a tough guy. So stop with that act. And he wants you to putt it out. They're down 4. Let them try to fucking fight to win this thing. I mean, Jesus, it's not Thursday, it's Sunday, and they need to win. They need to win this match bad. It's the first match. Siwoo, it's not like you're already up on the day. Siwoo is the first match. He's trying to set the tempo. He wants you to make a 3-footer. Make the fucking 3-footer. Don't roll your eyes at Siwoo Kim.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I agree. 100%.
And Siwoo shuts the crowd and he starts tough guy act again, tough guy face. Shut the fuck up. You pounded a beer at the Ryder Cup before the thing was even over on the tee box. But this guy can't shush the crowd.
That was on a Saturday when he pounded the beer.
I mean, if you want to be that guy, be that guy. And like you said, I agree with you. I do think they need that in Rome, but don't be that guy and then get mad at other people for trying to be that guy for their team.
Yeah. Yeah. I enjoy team match play is just great. It's awesome. Like it's so much fun betting it. And it would have been awesome if Neiman and Cam were there and Answer. and Louis, and that's another discussion we've had with people that I don't even know how you can argue the other side of it, but team match play, it just brings other things out, and it's just an awesome event. I've always liked the President's Cup. I had a blast in Australia when the US almost lost. This one was still cool the first 3 days.
You know what sucks is the next one's in Canada, the one place where I don't think the internationals get that much of an advantage.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's in Canada at Royal, whatever the fuck it's called, I forget, but
Yeah, plus the Americans will travel.
Royal Montreal or something. Yeah, and the Canadian players fucking blow.
Speaking of the Canadians, how first of all, Immelman,
Yeah,
he rolls back he just fires the same group that got absolutely drilled on Thursday.
no adjustments.
In foursomes on Saturday morning. Like, Connors was the worst fucking player of the week, besides Seabez, who luckily he didn't play, but Connors was the worst fucking player of the week.
He was, and you're straddling your best player with him, and like I think it just took the wind out of Sungjae's sails.
Yeah,
You sticking the worst player in your team with your best player, and a lot of people Saturday. So I criticized him. Pretty much everyone agreed. So I'm not going to say people disagreed. But then the next day, someone's like, "Do you feel bad about doing that take now after what they did on Saturday afternoon?" No, because Saturday morning they could have made up even more ground. Like the teams that you put up, I wasn't criticizing the foursomes on Saturday afternoon, or the 4-ball on Saturday afternoon. I was criticizing the foursomes on Saturday morning because those are the ones that were exactly the same. Not, I don't think the afternoon ones were great, but the morning ones were what I had an issue with. And no, I still think you could have won more because two of your best players are losing their match because you have shitty players with them.
yeah. And then Sunday he sends out Tom Kim and fucking Sanjay. They're two best players of the week, probably, along with maybe Davis and Scott. He sends them out like 9th and 10th group. Like, you're down 4. They need to be in your top 6.
Makes no sense whatsoever.
Like,
Do you think he got it mixed up? I know you said that to me.
I don't think he did, but like,
He could have. He said names wrong a bunch of times.
he did. I don't think he did.
Why Siwoo first? I don't get it.
I don't know. Maybe I don't know. He won
he
that.
won.
He won with Tom, but that was all Tom. I don't know. You want to talk about Tom?
Tom's a man.
He's just screaming out of his tits.
He was awesome.
Great
Entertainment. And well, the PGA Tour is a little mad at me, so I'm gonna write something positive because I think that, and I actually truly really believe it. But a little spoiler, I'm gonna write something about. I thought the Asians in general were fucking awesome this event.
Yeah,
you want to talk about like growing the game and shit? Like, how about being a little kid in South Korea or in Japan watching this event? Like, I want to be like that motherfucker.
Yeah,
I think it was a good thing. I mean, I think that was the highlight of the event for, especially for international team, like how the Asians were all fucking awesome.
Besides Decky, he kind of was just man.
But he did grind back. He started off bad. He got him a couple points, and I think he showed some good leadership and stuff. And he tied with Burns. Yeah, I think he was fine.
Yep.
Those Asians, man, I love them.
Yeah, what's not to like?
Because not only the way they play, but also just the personality they brought. Like, without those Asians, that event was fucking awful.
Just listening to Siwoo talk's hilarious.
He's the best. Like I read the quote about after he's shushing the crowd. He's like, Patrick Reed did it, but the way he said it was just like, he's like, yeah, I saw him do it. So like, I thought that's what you're supposed to do, like to get the crowd going or something. Like I don't even think he knew what he was doing.
They're just like these cute little chubby faced Koreans.
I love them. And I have a friend who's Korean who I was friends with in high school, and he reminds me of those guys, and he was the same cute little bastard. So good soft spot for him.
Yeah. I wish the golf season would just end after these team events.
It should.
Shut it down for a couple months.
Yeah, you can tell it needs an off season. You can tell by the engagement we get, by the downloads on the shows. Like, people are just ready for it to be done.
Yeah.
But hey, here we are talking about Sanderson Farms, where Russell Henley is like 14-1 and Tigala is like 16-1. So
yeah. All right. So what do you got here? You want to do Sanderson first, and we'll touch on the Dunhill, which is actually the better event.
Yeah, much better event. Let's see. All right. Par 72, 7,461 yards. The Bermuda grass greens are really fast. Every round that they've played it at this course, they've had the greens have been either fast or lightning. It was an alternate field event up until 1920. So we did see some shittier guys win, shorter hitting guys, but that was an alternate event then. So the only 3 seasons that we've seen when it's the main event that offers 500 points, the FedEx Cup points and the Invitation of the Masters and whatnot, those 3 winners were Munoz, Sergio, and Burns. So I think those are really the only 3 we can kind of go off of. So clearly ball strikers, bombers, off the tee is incredibly important. The last 2 winners have led the field in strokes gained off the tee. Like you said, Munoz is probably in the top 3 or top 5 in that for the week. So really, really important. Field is pretty weak. Got a couple President's Cup guys. You got Burns at the top, but other than that, really, similar to Fortinet, minus like 3 of the best players.
Yep. I mean, yeah, very, very similar to Fortinet. Yeah, I get really nothing on this field. It just stinks.
Bombers.
Yeah, and you always bet bombers. And it's basically whoever gets a hot putter too.
Mm-hmm.
So, which is crazy because Sergio won.
Yeah, which makes it kind of weird because I think I don't know, these bombers can get hot putter. Like Sergio, he didn't have to have that hot of a putter. He just had to have it pretty good. That was when he's putting with his eyes closed. Remember?
Yeah, we were regretting not being on. Who's like 70-1.
Yeah. So some bombers. I mean, I'm not going to get too high in the field. I actually don't really like Burns at the top because I think he played all 5 matches. I think it's an emotional. It takes a little bit of a toll. They're probably celebrating after that. Like I just don't think he has the motivation to go and defend his title at the Sanderson Farms this week.
Yeah, I agree with you completely on Burns. Sergio gained 7 on approach that week. 5.5 off the tee. Still gained 3 putting, but
first off the tee, second in approach.
It's wild. Okay, so you got Burns at 10. We're gonna ignore. Then you jump up. Well, I guess odds are moving here on Bet 365. You get Poston at 20, Tigala at 20, Henley at 22. Munoz, who had a good President's Cup. I think he was either 2.5 or 3 points at 25. Those are the 5 guys below 25.
Not interested in any of them. I think it's probably a good layout for Tigala because you can kind of spray it here. Yeah, you don't need to be that precise off the tee. I thought that's why I didn't really like him at the Fortinet because I think you can get in trouble. I know you don't, the rough isn't incredibly penal, but I still think, you will be punished if you aren't hitting fairways. This is a place where I think you just fucking let it rip. And I think that helps him. I'm not betting him at 20-1 though.
You don't like him, huh?
I mean, I like him fine enough, but I don't want to bet him at 20. Do you?
I didn't realize he finished. Actually, I kind of didn't know using the mix. He finished 6th at Fortinet. Isn't he just a better golfer than these guys?
Yeah.
I don't know. No, I don't want to bet him at 20, but I mean, he was 8th here last year. I don't really see him as a Southeast guy.
No.
Has he ever done anything in Florida or anything? Valspar 7th. Yeah.
Not that I recall. No, I mean, I think he does make a little bit of sense, but he's not going to be for me.
Yeah, I'm not going to bet any of these guys. I don't mind Munoz, but I'd need a 40 on Munoz. I thought he played really well last week. And Henley, I'm just not going to bet Henley at 22-1.
No, nope. Especially in a place like I think you do need to be a little bit longer off the tee.
Isn't this type of area Poston could win in?
Sure.
Right?
I guess. I mean, if he wins, good for him.
Yeah.
I would rather fucking die than bet Poston at 20-1.
Okay. Next range, you got Stallings at 28, Denny McCarthy 28, Taylor Montgomery 28. That brick shithouse Sepp Straka 35, and my guy Grillo 35. Those are the guys below 40.
Taylor Montgomery obviously is playing pretty well, looking pretty good. Not going to bet him at 28. We talked a little bit off air about him, and I think it's all putting that he was doing last week. So
They gained 11.2 putting, which is
Jesus Christ,
wild. Didn't win.
That's unbelievable. I think Grillo could be at a good spot here. Look at Sergio and Isn't he basically Sergio?
He is Sergio. Shitty Sergio. I don't know. Grillo, I just look for him on bent. I don't know.
You got these South Americans that have won the last 2 out of
Yeah.
3.
Yeah.
I, yeah, it's a tough number though, and I don't know. I like another Sergio. I'm just gonna get right into it.
Okay.
I like Keegan, right? He's a Sergio as well, a Grillo as well. We talked about how Sergio gained whatever he gained 5 off the tee and 7 on approach. Keegan could do that. Maybe not quite as good as Sergio off the tee, but I think ball striking in general, he can be good. And then if he gains 3 strokes putting like Sergio did, I think he can win. I think at 40 to 1, I think I saw 50 actually. Someone said there's a 50 on Bet Rivers. We don't use that, but I know some people do. But 50 to 1 for him. I just think he's a class of the field. I mean, he's a better player than JT Poston. He's accomplished more than Tagala has. I think you can say there's 1 or 2 players in the field definitively better than him. He ended the season pretty shittily, but that doesn't really bother me considering last year he wasn't good. This is actually 2020. He came in 4th. He came in 4th, and it was after back-to-back missed cuts, missed 3 out of 4, had a really shit end of the season, and still finishing 4th. So, and the field's even weaker now. So I just think he's kind of the class of the field at 50 to 1. I'll take it.
Love that. Gonna join you. I am concerned about recent form, but whatever.
He's been sitting for a month, though.
I'm not heavily invested into this event, so yeah, time off helps for sure.
What's the last time he played? 5 weeks ago? 6?
I'd imagine, just to guess, it's either the one Zalatoris one or the other one.
Yeah, and then like vets like him, I'm not as worried about recent form playing in a row. Like if he just turns it on, he can turn it on.
Right. He last played at the BMW. He's still gaining off the tee every week. Yeah.
He's not crazy out of form. He's just not like hot. But if he was hot like he was, it'd be 25.
Yeah, he was pretty bad at BMW.
Yeah, whatever. Fuck it. 50 to 1. I like it.
Okay. Then our next guy is Trey Mullinax, 60 to 1. I thought this number would be 35-40 just with the way he's playing. He missed the cut at the Fortinet game, but he still gained 2.2 on approach. I mean, he lost 4 strokes putting in 2 rounds. I mean, I don't think he's going to do that. Plus, he's an Alabama guy. Alabama, Mississippi, same shit, right? And he finished 4th here last year, I think. T4. Yeah. I think this is a really good number on a bomber that I'm looking for, and a guy that won in Kentucky this past year at Barbasol. So yeah, 60 to 1. Lock that in.
Yeah, I like that a lot. Love Keegan 50 and Mullinax 60, and then 3 guys we like at the 100 range. I think that's a good enough card.
Yep.
We got 5 minutes here in this recording for whatever reason. This fucking thing sucks.
Okay, we'll go quick then. Other guys we're looking at. We got Kirk here at 55. I was looking at a 70. If I had a 70, I think I'd bet that. I probably wouldn't bet a 55. He's had some decent success. I just think he's a better golfer than a lot of these guys. And then other guys we were looking at were who? Burmy, 60.
Yeah. Has the right skill set, right? Burmy has pumps it. He likes the course. He can get away with like those long hitters, like BMW PGA where they played at Wentworth. Like he missed the cut, which I don't think matters. Like there's not a lot of room for those big hitters to let it go. And I think this is a place where it is. So I think he does have a good advantage there. Was great at the Open. Was he's played in some big events. Can you win here? Can I picture him winning in fucking Mississippi? Not really, but I think talent play and skill set play. It's a nice number.
Yeah, that's the only thing is a South African gonna win in Mississippi. And then a couple of long shots we were looking at. Hayden Buckley, 125. Davis Thompson, both SEC guys.
Davis was good last week.
Buckley was 4th here last year. Thompson was 35th, I hear, last year. Both bomb it. Yeah.
I like Davis Thompson a lot for whatever reason. He's kind of just sticking with me. Then we got one other guy. Wasn't there another bomb we liked?
The other bomb we liked. I don't remember.
It was Dave Thompson, Buckley, and
we talked about Benny Ann. I'm not sure if we still like him or not. Oh, Vinnie Norman,
Yeah, Vinny Norman.
200.
Yeah, 200, gained 4 or 5 off the tee last week. Was up there. He finished like, I don't know, 10th or 12th. Ball striker from the Corn Ferry Tour. Probably the best ball striker. Just can't putt. But look at the guys who have won here. So I think he could challenge to be. And a lot of the buzz still on Sun Montgomery. Like Norman outplayed them last week, especially in terms of tee to green. He outplayed them. So yeah.
Okay. So that's it. We'll post it. I don't know. We'll post it Tuesday or Wednesday. We decide on, but we're definitely getting in on Keegan and Mullinex and a couple of those bombs there.
Mhm.
And then the Dunhill. I'm just gonna bet Hatton and Fleetwood. I feel like I'm gonna have something to root for Sunday morning. You look at Hatton. I mean, he won this in 2016, 2017, and 2017. And then 2018, he finished second. 2019, 15th, and then last year he finished second.
Is there a limit on how many times one guy can win the event, though? That's
I
my
don't know.
concern.
I don't think so. Fuck it.
Can you win it
Whatever.
every time?
I'm just looking for a guy in the mix here.
Okay.
But I really like Fleetwood a lot. I think I like him better than Hatton. He's at 20-1. He hasn't won this event yet, but he has about 17 top fives.
Really? You just worry about that one round that's going to take him out of the tournament like he has every fucking time.
Yeah. But maybe he'll focus better with being at different courses. Who knows?
That could be it. That could be it. And he was really, I mean, obviously he had that look for a really low round is a good sign for somebody's form. And the fact that he was able to get that first round lead at the BMW PGA and then he fell off. But I mean, just the fact that he was, go shoot a 63 on that type of course, I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah. So I'm looking for Hatton at 18 and Tommy at 20. And that's probably all I'm going to invest in it. Any other longer shots you like?
Yeah, look at the live guys. I think there's always some pretty decent value on them. And plus it makes some intrigue for the event if you're on one of them. I don't know which ones make sense here, but
Louis' number kind of stood out. 32.
he won at St. Andrews, but has he been playing all that well? He's been okay at live.
He's been okay on live. He's never done great. He only has one top 10. No, that's.
Does he have the balls to fucking go and win this thing in everybody's face hole?
Probably not.
That's my concern.
But I don't know if he really cares with anything that he does.
That's what I mean. If he doesn't care, then I just think, I don't know. People are going to be yelling at him and chasing that. Fuck it. I kind of
Yeah.
Grace, maybe I can see him having more balls on him, but I don't know. Louis just sackless.
I hear you.
Gooch.
Oh, yeah, Gooch.
What's he?
Yeah. 30.
He has balls. He has more balls than brains, but he has some balls.
It's true.
So that's about it. We'll post a card and